Every day, millions of drivers pass roadside barriers without giving them a second thought. You'll find them on highway medians, ramps, and bridges, quietly waiting, ready to protect you during a crash. But what if I told you, these barriers aren't just safety features, they're the most effective life-saving systems on the road today. Modern barriers have reduced road fatalities by over 80%. That's not luck, that's engineering. Here's the strange part. Many of these barriers are made of unforgiving materials, concrete and steel. And yet, instead of stopping cars violently, they redirect them safely, allowing people to walk away from crashes that once would have been fatal. How is that even possible? To find out, we have to go back to where it all began. After World War II, the U.S. launched the biggest highway expansion in history to connect cities and supercharge trade. But one thing didn't evolve fast enough: roadside barriers. Early designs were crude, meant to guide horse wagons, not stop cars traveling 70 miles per hour. And as cars got faster, those barriers became dangerous. Instead of protecting people, they launched cars, flipped them, or even speared them. In short, the very thing meant to save lives often made things worse. The wake-up call came on California's Highway 99. In just 5 years, over 700 people were killed or injured in preventable head-on collisions. Engineers were forced to rethink everything, from materials to how barriers behave on impact. And what they created over time wasn't just an improvement, it was a revolution in road safety. The most common barrier you'll see: concrete. They're everywhere. Tight medians, bridges, tunnels. Early versions were tall, vertical, and brutally effective. They stopped cars instantly, but that force was transferred directly into the passengers, often with devastating consequences. Then came a breakthrough: the New Jersey barrier. Its slope design gently lifts the car upon impact and redirects it back to the road, reducing rollover risks and injuries like whiplash. Later, engineers introduced the F-shaped barrier, which protects lighter cars by shifting the slope lower. It's subtle, but it saves lives. But concrete isn't always ideal. It needs stable, flat ground and lots of space. So engineers created a more flexible solution: cable barriers. Just a few tension steel cables strung between collapsible posts, but incredibly effective. Early cable systems sagged and failed during crashes. Now, they flex on impact, spreading the crash force across time and distance, reducing the severity of injuries. They're also far cheaper than concrete or steel, up to 40% less than traditional guardrails. And guess what? Major crash studies show they perform just as well, if not better, in real-world crashes. Next up, guardrails, the backbone of roadside safety in rural areas. They used to be stiff, brittle, and downright deadly. But modern versions act more like a system. In 2017, during a rally in the Canary Islands, a race car flew toward a cliff, but was saved by a modern guardrail system. The rail flexed, posts rotated, and energy was absorbed, not transferred to the car. Both driver and co-driver walked away from what could have been a 200-foot drop. But guardrail ends were once lethal, acting like spears. That's why modern end terminals collapse in sequence or pull the rail downward, absorbing energy away from the vehicle cabin. It's smart engineering, except when companies cut corners. In 2005, Trinity Industries made a tiny design change to their ET+ end terminal, reducing one component from 5 inches to 4. It saved them money, but they didn't report the change, they didn't retest it, they just rolled it out. And that missing inch caused the mechanism to jam, turning a safety device into a deadly spear. The truth came out in a whistleblower lawsuit. Trinity was fined over $500 million, but no amount of money could reverse the damage on the roads. Sometimes, failure happens in front of the whole world. In 2001, NASCAR legend Dale Earnhardt hit a concrete wall head-on during the final lap of the Daytona 500. The crash didn't look severe, but it killed him instantly. The problem: NASCAR's walls could stop a car, but not soften the blow. That led to the creation of the safer barrier: steel and foam energy reduction. Steel tubing and foam blocks absorbed impact energy and kept it from reaching the driver. It worked. Crash after crash, drivers walked away. But here's the next challenge: electric vehicles. EVs are heavier and have low-sitting batteries, which means more force, hitting right where barriers are designed to absorb impact. Standard guardrails weren't built for this. In crash tests, some heavy pickups ripped right through them like paper. Now, engineers are upgrading barriers with stronger steel, advanced polymers, and better impact distribution systems to match the weight of modern cars. Because this isn't a rare exception, it's the new normal. Some barriers aren't built for traffic, they're built for terrorism. At airports and government sites, we see bollards, wedge barriers, and crash gates designed to stop weaponized vehicles in seconds. Bollards look simple, but are anchored deep in reinforced concrete, able to stop a 15,000-pound truck at 50 miles per hour in under 3 feet. Wedge barriers rise from the ground instantly, becoming immovable steel walls. These aren't just crash systems, they're a life-saving shield. Now, the next generation of barriers is already here. In South Korea, roads are lined with spinning barrels, drums that rotate during impact, converting kinetic energy into motion while keeping the vehicle stable. Engineers are also testing rubberized concrete, smart cable systems, and materials tuned for EV impact, because the road ahead won't get safer on its own. It will only get safer if we engineer it that way. Modern road barriers are no longer afterthoughts. They are silent protectors designed not just to stop crashes, but to save lives. But sometimes, the best safety feature isn't about surviving the crash. It's about preventing it. Like your tires. They grip the road at highway speeds with only a handprint of contact. How do they manage that? Click here to find out.